And away we go. It is the Aftermath. Brought to you by Galactic Fried Chicken right here on BearcatJournal.com. Go see our good friends at Galactic Fried Chicken. They're located in Dayton, Kentucky. They're just down the street from Newport on the Levee, so you don't have to go too far into Kentucky to get there. It's right across the river. They got the best fried chicken in Cincinnati, the best chicken tenders in Cincinnati. I love the chicken dunkers, the fries, the coleslaw, the fried pickles, the deviled eggs, and, of course, the galactic sauce is out of this world. So head down to Galactic Fried Chicken. They'll get you taken care of with the galactic goodness. All right, Aaron. Well, I guess at least it got interesting. Cincinnati did not arrive in Greenville, South Carolina until the final segment of the first half. They were great from there to the end of the game for the most part. The only problem was they were down 27 going into the final segment of the first half. Or they scored 7 straight at the end of the first half to cut it from 27 to 20, and then played really well in the second half. The problem was they were really, really, really bad the first 16 minutes of the game, like epically bad. Like I was ready to do like a 7-minute nightcap and go, guess what? I'm not going to spend my Sunday talking about that shit. Here's the final score. Here's an opening thought from Aaron. Everybody have a good weekend. That's where I was at about 16 minutes into that game. I guess kudos to them for figuring some things out and coming back. We have a lot to get to. Kirk Kriisa did not play in the second half of this game. Sean Abayev played 3 minutes in the second half of this game. Jizzle James and Day Thomas each played 18 minutes in the second half. Sincere Harris played 16 minutes in the second half. And honestly, Aaron, it's probably the best half they've played all year. So there's no moral victories here, Agent 00 De Niro. There's no moral victories. They did this to themselves. It's really fucking hard to come back from down 27. So my advice, don't play so bad that you get down 27. And look, I know everybody's mad about the three-pointers. This team can't score from 2 against competent opponents. I think they finished, what'd you say, 5 of 16 on layups?
5 of 16.
At one point, they were 2 of 13 on layups. 2 of 13 at the rim. So it's frustrating because even playing well for the second half, there was still, they throw an alley-oop to Jizzle, down 7 with a chance to cut it to 5 on a 3-on-1 fast break. Instead of giving it to Baba Miller on the trail, you throw a lob. You had a couple times where you're chipping away. They can't get critical stops. This happened down the stretch too. Final 3 minutes or so. I think they got 1 stop. Like, you're not going to win, especially coming from behind. You can't keep the other team from scoring. And this defense that's supposed to be one of the better defenses in college basketball, Aaron, looks like poopy. The goaltend was BS. Give me a break on that. That was clearly a block shot.
Correct.
It should have just been 2 free throws. That's 1 or 2 points off the board that you needed desperately at the end. That's how many times have I talked about this, Aaron? If you can't get it right on replay, just get rid of replay. What's the point of having replay if you can watch that, see the ball get blocked before it hits the backboard, and you still leave the play called? But the officials, other than that play, the officials had really nothing to do with this. The game was called fine, I thought.
Well, I mean, getting back to that point, if you're gonna have the referee crew that made the call going back to review their own call, it's probably more often than not going to remain the call that was made, because otherwise you have to swallow pride. Have somebody else make the call.
That's your job, is to go to the monitor and reverse that's your job, is to do that.
How many people are
at
this job?
You're getting a lot of money every game to reverse that call. And it wasn't like there was a lack of video evidence. We could all see it very clearly right in front of our stupid faces that the ball did not hit the backboard, that it was blocked off the backboard. But either way, don't get down 27 damn points.
Correct.
Don't go 6.5 minutes into the game without a field goal. You're down 30-5 at one point.
That was the we've seen some terrible halves already this season. We've seen terrible halves in the last 5 years. I don't know that any of them were worse than what we saw today.
Oh yeah, they're the NKU second half.
Was it worse than this?
They scored 11 points in that.
I mean, I thought they were only going to score 11 points in this half,
but they didn't. They didn't. It was bad. I don't think it was NKU bad, but it's like top 3. It's on the list. It's unfortunately a longer list than it should be.
Ugh, I hate this list.
It's definitely on the list.
This is the worst of the lists. I don't know, man. I'm going 6.5 minutes without a single field goal, making 6 field goals in one half. It was the fact that it's even in the conversation for worst lists.
They were 3 of 10 from 2 in the first half. 30% from 2. They were 3 of 13 from 3, like 18% or whatever it was from 3. And then 3 of 6 from the free throw line. Gross. Tyler, I'm guessing he was a game time decision. His knee is still sore. I think that was, you can call it a coach's decision, but I'm guessing it just didn't feel good enough to go, or else he would have absolutely been in there.
Yeah. I don't know.
The problem with having an outside official doing this, like the NFL does, the NFL's got like 7 games going on at one time. College basketball, there's 50 games going on at any given, like, I don't think you can have one person that would have the right access to all of the technology to do it. And you're certainly not going to have an official sitting courtside to review plays twice unless it's a Doug Sermon's crew where they review 14 plays a game. But you're not going to have somebody sitting there just to review that. Just get it right.
Yeah.
Just get it right.
Tale as old as time. We'll always find reasons to bitch about terrible officiating because it's terrible. And they're all, at best, above average at their jobs, but none of them are great anyway. We're getting too far in the weeds, I think, on officiating when, again, back to the original point, you were down 27.
Yeah.
27. You couldn't make a shot. It was a dreadful first half, and I don't know what the hell you gave them in the locker room at halftime.
Well, it's not that hard to figure out, Aaron. They stopped turning the ball over.
Yeah.
They turned it over, 8 times in the first half? They only turned it over 4 times in the second?
How much of that is because Kirk Risa didn't play?
He
only had 1 turnover in this game.
Yeah,
but
I don't think it was necessarily Kerr. I think it was they stopped being idiots with the basketball, making dumb plays. Celestine had 2, Abayev had 2, Kerr had 1, Jizzle, Sincere, Day all had 1. Like, it's like everybody takes their turn kicking the ball around. They didn't do that in the second half. They made 7 threes in the second half. They only made 3 in the first half. They were 8 of 9 from the free throw line. So, like, it's not hard to figure out why the second half was much better than the first. They turned Clemson over. They took care of the ball.
Right.
They made some more shots. Like, it's not rocket science.
that was probably the biggest thing, though. They made offense out of defense. Their defense was dog shit the first half. It was a horrendous showing defensively. Absolutely terrible. I am glad we can leave that first half in the past now, but they did not show up defensively.
We can't. We still got to talk about it.
Sure, fine. But I guess what I'm getting at is they did not show that same defense in the second half. And I think part of that is because Sean Abayev wasn't out there. I think part of that is Kirk Ariza wasn't out there. And defensively, they were far more sound. You
could argue that. And they took better shots in the second half because those two guys weren't out there.
Well, but they were able to run in transition because they were playing defensively and turning those turnovers or rebounds into offense. They were turning up the pace, and you weren't just kind of standing around tossing the ball around in your offense and trying to figure out who's going to shoot and miss.
The funny part there is they had more fast break points in the second half than they did the first. They have 5 fast break points in the first half. They had 4 in the second half. But you're right. The tempo was more to Cincinnati's favor.
Yeah. That is a weird stat, though. I wouldn't have guessed that.
It's just what the official scorer deems fast break a lot of times too.
You would have had more fast break points if you capitalize on that 3-on-1 fast break where you come up with nothing.
Nothing. Like what's the idea? If you're going to throw a lob there, throw it to Baba. You're throwing a lob to Jizzle, a 6'2" guard. You know the other thing that pissed me off, Aaron?
Here we go.
I hate this. I'll turn my camera back on for a second. I hate when a coach calls a timeout after a made basket. I hate it because it never works. They hit a 3 to cut it to 8, I think. I think they cut it to 8. It's the under 12 TV timeout, I think. Either under 12 or under 8. I think it was under 12. Hit a 3, call a timeout, waste one of your 2 remaining timeouts. They come back, go right down the floor, hit a 3, push it back to 11, or hit a 2, push it back to 9, get a stop, push it back to 12, eventually is where this ended. But you wasted a timeout, and then you gave up 4 straight points, and you had cut it to 8 with momentum. Let them play. Let them play.
It was 10.
What do you mean?
It was down to 10. The
3 had cut it to 8.
At the
or no. Was it 10? I could have swore it was.
You said it was which timeout? Regardless, it's 2 points.
It was 12:38 remaining. So right before the under 12 stop, Day hits a 3. Okay. Cincinnati calls timeout. They come down, hit a 3. Then you get the media timeout. And then they make a 2 and push it back up to 13. You had momentum. You had it down to 8. Day is cooking. I hate timeouts after a made basket. I hate them. I always have. I would call if I had a 15-year coaching career, I would call 0 timeouts in the flow of a game after a made basket. Maybe late, like you got to set up a trap or like whatever. But in that situation, what the hell are you doing calling a timeout there? You want to get your defense right? Well, they came down and hit a 3 on you and pushed it from 8 back to 11.
Frustrating. I don't know. I mean, there were some bright spots in the game. Fair enough to give. I thought that this was the most active we saw Mustafa Cham. I've been extremely critical of him, so I do want to make sure that I'll give flowers to him where flowers are due. I haven't seen him actively asking for the ball as he did today. I thought that was good to see. I thought that I was shocked, but I thought that Halvin Zella's minutes were excellent. I thought he played really, really good minutes for
he
what
plays
I
his ass
expected.
off. He's just an absolute zero on offense. But other than that, yeah, he plays his butt off.
And I don't know. I thought he was. I mean, he was +9 on a team that struggled to be plus anything.
I'm not saying he was bad. I'm saying he's a zero on offense. You know that. But you also know he's going to defend. He's going to rebound. He's going to play really, really hard for a team that struggles to play hard at times. You just know you're not getting any offense with him.
Which I think is okay. That's fine. I mean,
yeah. Well, on a team that struggles to score, putting a guy out there that can't score, I mean, I guess it's whatever at that point. You're not going to score either way.
It's your backup 5, so
yeah,
it just is what it is. I just, for his 14 minutes, he wasn't a liability on the defense side of the ball. And I thought, again, I just thought his minutes were high energy,
good. Yeah,
and good minutes. I'm I guess kind of glad Sean Abayev only played 14 minutes, going 1 of 5. Felt like Wes finally put a leash on, where he has been allowed to freely shoot as he wants. We saw him kind of corral the young buck and say, not anymore, not in this one. And things changed. We also saw something that runs completely counter to what feels like Wes's entire identity as a coach, and what I've always referred to, and it pisses you off, his hockey style line changes went away.
He didn't do those today.
And it felt like things ran smoother.
I guess. But they didn't do them in the first half either.
Yes, he did. You had, 9 guys with minutes. And the least of which was 6. Celestine had 6. Zella had 7. Kerr with 9. This is all in the first half. Jizzle and Abayev with 11 each. He still did it. The only guy that didn't really come out much is Day with 15.
Yeah, but if you're talking hockey substitutions, that's taking 4 guys out of it. They don't do that, Aaron. We've had this argument for 5 years. They take 2 guys out here and 2 guys out there. Like, it's not hockey style substitutions.
No, what I'm getting at is you don't need to give everyone all of these minutes just because they're on the team. It's not working. It's never been working.
Okay, that's not the problem.
I saw a second half look different than the first half.
Okay.
I see a correlation.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. He still played 8 guys in the second half. He played 9 guys in the first half.
He did play 8 guys, but you had Abayev with 3 minutes. You had Krisa. Actually, Krisa didn't even play. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Zell only had 8. Abayev had 3. So you had 11 minutes from those 2 guys. So you played really 6 guys.
Okay.
For the majority of it.
It's the line substitutions why this team stinks. No, that's not it.
No, it's the line substitutions is why this coach stinks.
It's not it. It's because the players aren't good enough. It's because the coach isn't good enough. He got outcoached by Brad Brownwell today, right out of the gate. It's not subbing 2 guys in and 2 guys out more than Aaron likes. Georgia last week subbed every stoppage of the ball. They subbed 3 guys. Georgia's okay.
Georgia's roster is up and down better than Cincinnati's roster.
No, it's not.
Okay.
It's absolutely not.
Okay.
They're not. Cincinnati plays like shit, but the rosters are about the same. It's not that, Aaron. Well, anyway. Anyhow. Yeah, Chom looked good at the end. I don't know. It's so frustrating in a game that really, like, if you were going to have any chance to get this thing back on track, you had to win today. You had to. And they were down 30-5. The defense was a train wreck. I mean, the offense was. How about this for a contrast, Aaron? In the first half, Cincinnati scored 0.6 points per possession. In the second half, 1.382. From as bad as you can possibly be to about as good as you can possibly be.
Yeah, extremely efficient.
In one half. Make it make sense.
I tried to by telling you he limited substitutions, and you didn't like that reasoning.
I'm telling you that's not why they're bad.
It's really hard to get into a flow offensively, though, when you're just in and out and in and out and in and out and in and out.
Okay. You win. Does that make you feel better? Day played 15 minutes. Baba played 14 minutes. Chom played 13 minutes. Jizzle played 11. Harris played 12. And they still got down by 27 points. They didn't sub early. You talked about they didn't score for 6.5 minutes. There wasn't a lot of sub in there. That didn't have anything to do with it. They just sucked.
Man, that was trash. It was terrible. Look, man, if I didn't have to watch this game to do this show and because it's my job, I would have turned it off and done anything else.
Same.
Anything else. I would have gone and washed the car in the cold or something stupid. Like just anything else.
There were people, Kelsey and Liz were wrapping presents during this game. I would much rather have gone and wrapped Christmas presents, which is the bane of my existence, than watching that for the first 16 minutes of the game. Have they won in front of Roy? I don't think so.
I think that's actually correct.
I think they've lost every time he has come to watch them play.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's like 6 or 7 times he's been there. I'm pretty sure they are winless in those games. Now, it's because Roy usually comes to watch them play against quad 1 opponents, and we know that record.
Why would you show up against Alabama State? That I was confused about being Albany State for 3 days.
Because maybe they'll win. Maybe you get to see Wes win and have fun talking to him in the locker room after the game. Well, the stat I saw it, he has over the last 5 years, he has more quad 4 wins than anybody in America.
Well, in the first half, he had more turnovers than made field goals.
There was a lot of things they had more than made field goals in that first half, Aaron.
God.
It was, I mean, you almost had 6 field goals and 5 fouls in the first half. Yeah, he used more timeouts than field goals in the first half. He didn't, but it was close. Closer than it should have been. Closer than it should have been. It just doesn't. It doesn't add up. Like the way that this team goes through just massive stretches of bad basketball. I mean, it felt like the first 15 minutes of the first half, Aaron, the ball got below the free throw line like 5 times. It was just bing, 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 bing. It never got into the lane, never got towards the rim. If they did get towards the rim, they missed. You never moved Clemson's defense, and Clemson has a good defense. They're top 25 in defense, and you never moved them. You let them just be completely comfortable staying in their spots and guarding the guy standing 2 feet in front of them.
Like couldn't close out at all. Like it felt like one of those drills you see where somebody has the broom up, you know what I'm talking about, and they were just kind of running through drills with the broom, like not actually playing defense in the first half.
I'm talking about Cincinnati on offense. They didn't get the ball below the free throw line for 15 minutes. Like, they never put pressure on Clemson's defense. Like, why were they jacking up threes? Because those were the only shots that were available, because they only turned Clemson over twice. Like, there is a direct correlation to this team playing well when they create turnovers defensively. Like you talked, they get a little bit more in rhythm. They get, even if they're not scoring on the break, they play with more pop when they're creating turnovers. Clemson only turned it over twice in the first half, and Cincinnati just passed the ball wing, point, and shoot a three. And that was it. Like, there was never any flow. And you had 13 threes in the first half. You had 10 twos. They were terrible from both of them. Like I said, 3 of 13 from 3, 3 of 10 from 2. They couldn't score either way. And then when they got to the free throw line, they were 3 of 6. So Lipscomb's good, unfortunately. Can't think of another time Wes has abandoned 2 starters in a game. What choice did you have? Those guys were brutal in the first half.
It's hard to say that by label they're 2 starters. He has professed his undying love for Jizzle James, not in a weird way, but as a son almost, every time that he's been asked at the mic. So Jizzle was net positive tonight.
He was way better than Sean and Kerr in the first half when those 2 guys were on the floor. They were combined 1 of 5 from the floor. All of those shots from 3. Didn't take a 2. They only made 1 basket, a 3. They combined for 3 rebounds, 3 assists, or 3 rebounds, 3 turnovers, no assists, and minus 29.
31.
Or minus 31. Sorry, yeah. No. Minus 15, minus 14. That's 29.
Minus 17, minus 14.
That's for the game. I'm looking at the first half.
Gotcha.
Abayev was minus 2 in his 3 minutes in the second half. I'm just talking the first half. Like, that was why they didn't play a whole lot in the second half.
No issue with it.
No. I mean, the other guy, Buck and Jizzle were playing well. Why would you? And now that math changes, right? Because you've got Jizzle back. You can remove essentially, or reduce one of those guys, and hopefully it's a little bit of a hey,
wake up call.
Wake up. We don't have to put you on the floor now because we're thin on guards. We have options to leave both of you sitting over here.
Just stop shooting bad shots. Abayev did it again tonight with the fadeaway 3, trying to draw a foul for no reason. None.
He almost got called, I think, for a flop there.
He should. We all know it's coming.
Because he kicks his feet out.
When you do it every game, multiple times a game, yes, you are trying to get it.
Yeah. I don't mind it. Like, there was one in the Alabama State game where the guy was like aggressively in his grill, and he knew if he went up, the guy was going to foul him, right? Well, but when a guy's just there playing standard defense, you're not going to make the shot, and you're not going to get the foul call. Neither thing are going to happen.
We'll see Day do that where he leans into the guy as he's shooting a 3 to try and get the foul call when that kind of thing happens, and that's fine. That's playing the defense. But when you're just trying to get it every time you shoot the 3, that can't be your mechanics. Not good mechanics.
Right. Yeah. I mean, look, I'm not as down on Kerr as most, but the reality of the situation is if he can't knock in 3s, he's not doing a ton to help you. Especially, he had 7 assists against Alabama State. That's not going to translate into elite high major games. He's not going to go out there and just, make the fancy pass for an assist. Like, I think probably 3 or 4 of those were on Baba dunks where he just gives it to Baba. Baba goes up and dunks it. You're not getting those against high major teams. What they have they had 2 dunk attempts today. They were 1 for 2.
Three dunk attempts.
3 dunk attempts today. 2 for 3. It's not sustainable. So if he's not shooting well, he can't defend.
Right now, he's giving you as much offense as you pointed out with Alvin Zella. And if you're giving me that same level of offense, you've just got to be able to give me something else if you're only going to give me that much offense shooting.
Here's the big thing, Aaron. First half with Abayev and Kerr out there quite a bit, Clemson was at 1.267 points per possession. Second half, with those guys playing a total of 3 minutes combined, 0.9 points per possession. The defense is significantly better if you take those 2 off the floor right now, and they're not providing anything on offense.
Which that shouldn't be a surprise. We kind of knew that about Abayev at this point. We know that he has been
but the offense isn't matching.
Right. When you're only giving me 1 of 5 shooting, 2 of 7 shooting, 1 of 9 in the last game 2 games ago. Just it's been bad. You can't continue to run that out there and give them the green light all night on any shot they want to take. It's not selective shooting.
Yeah. Agreed. All right. You want to
ready to do this thing?
I guess.
All right. We will start off at the top. Day Thomas leading all Bearcat scores, 6 of 12 from the field for his 17 points, 5 of 9 from 3. Largely coming, he hit 3 in a row.
Yeah, it's 15 of his 17 in the second half.
4 rebounds, all defensive, 1 assist, 1 turnover, 3 steals, 34 minutes played. 1 of 2 starters with a positive plus-minus at 4.
It's still insane for anybody to have been positive plus-minus with as bad as that game started.
At 34 minutes.
Yeah. Yeah. Look, that the run in the second half was outstanding. And that 3 almost, it was so close to being online, just a little bit hard to tie the game and send it to overtime.
Last shot, yeah.
Just a little too much. Or else that thing goes in and we might be having an entirely different conversation about a team that, oh my God, they just came back from down 27 to beat Clemson. Look out.
It would have been Wes's 4th win ever as a Bearcat coach when not leading under 5.
Yeah.
Or at the 5-minute mark or whatever. Data was great. We've come to expect that. I'm happy that they at least got it to their best shooter on that last shot. I was worried that they weren't going to actually put it in Day-Day's hands, but he was the guy, without question, that you wanted the ball in.
Yeah, it was, kudos to him. He was home. He's from South Carolina, so I'm sure he had a big contingency of the Thomas family there, and only 2 points in the first half. I'm sure he was frustrated in many, many ways. To go out and really be the catalyst to get them back in the game was huge. And then, one good look at the end, and maybe this could have been, I would have to have assumed it would have been the biggest comeback in program history. You're not down. You're not, if you're Cincinnati, you're not down 27 very often.
Correct.
Much less to be in a position to be down 27 and get a win.
Jared, I'm so happy you used the word twick. I haven't heard that word in a very long time. Thanks for the blast from the past. All right, we'll keep it moving. Mustafa Cham, 15 points, 5 of 8 from the field, 1 for 1 from 3, 4 for 4 from the line. That's a little different for him. 2 offensive, 3 defensive, giving him 5 rebounds, 4 fouls, 1 turnover, 1 block, 1 steal, 26 minutes played, minus 12.
Hear me out. Everything seemed to fall in place for him once he hit that 3, right? Like he was almost a non-factor before he made the 3. And then when he made the 3, all of a sudden now he's dream shaking people.
And that's, I mean, I'm still mad anytime he's shooting a three right now. He made it, and that's great. It was a confidence booster. What I most appreciated out of him tonight is I still want more rebounding out of him. 5 is not going to cut it, especially in Big 12 play. From your 5 spot, from a guy who's getting the lion's share at the 5. But he started asking for the ball. He started throwing that hand up. He started being more aggressive in the block, in the post. And I don't know what's happening up there with my daughter. I apologize.
She says, "Daddy,
Daddy." Yeah, they're yelling for me. But I enjoyed seeing Mustafa Cham aggressive, calling for it like that. So,
no, daddy. You're in demand. Like, there's people there that like you.
It's weird that I have that in my life, huh?
All right, keep it going.
All right. Jizzle James. I gotta you read this stat off. Let me go fix this situation.
All right. Jizzle James, 10 points, 3 of 9 from the floor, 1 of 2 from 3, 3 of 4 from the free throw line, 3 rebounds, 3 assists, did have 3 turnovers. It looked like there was clearly a lot more rust today than there was on Wednesday night or whenever that was. Yeah, Wednesday night. But still productive, still plus 12 in his 29 minutes. I know there's going to be some ups and downs, but I think it has become blatantly obvious in 2 games, this team is significantly better when Jizzle James is on the floor than when they are not.
There was one time late in the game where he got beat on a guy just broke free, and he just was lagging defensively. I think that was the only time I felt like I ever saw him looking like he wasn't ready physically, and that may have just been a bad play. But his conditioning looks far better at 29 minutes than I anticipated him being already. And again, I already said it. He's been a net positive while in there. I don't have any issue with his 29 minutes. I wasn't ready for him to have 29 minutes, but it's not about what I'm ready for. He was clearly ready for 29
They didn't
minutes.
have a choice but to play him 29 minutes. Like,
I agree.
They're just a much better team with Jizzle on the floor than they are not.
That's a good question here. Surely Jizzle is starting next game. Offense and defense flow so much better. I won't be surprised.
I won't either, but if not, Aaron, you know what you're going to see at the 16:30 mark right before the first media timeout.
Hockey lineup changes.
No, you're just going to see Jizzle James become the first guard off the bench, which he should be. If he's not starting, he absolutely he needs to play 25, 27, 30 minutes, or else this team's not going to stand a chance in Big 12 play.
Well, at what point do you demand more of Kirk Risa to earn that spot?
Today? Yeah. I mean, I think today is the answer to that question, right?
Well, let's see what happens in practice and if he gets the start or not. I think that's probably more indicative.
Yeah, you're now talking. There's not a game for 8 days. They play on the 29th. There'll be a couple day break for Christmas. There'll be a lot of practice time between now and when they play Lipscomb coming out of Christmas break. And then, like I said, that you've got one game between now and December 3rd or January 3rd when you play Houston. So
you've painted yourself into a corner where you pretty much have to win. I don't know what, like
12 and 6, 12, 13 games in the Big 12. Yeah.
So I don't know. You've got to figure some stuff out real quick. And this is another long break, just like they had last week. Take advantage of it.
That wasn't even this long. Yeah, this is longer.
All right, Buck Harris, 10 points, 4 of 9 from the field, 1 for 1 from 3, 1 of 3 from the line, 1 offensive, 3 defensive, giving them 4 rebounds, 1 assist, 2 fouls, 1 turnover, 28 minutes played, plus 9 for Buck.
I would like to have seen him be a little bit more of a disruptor defensively. I thought his guys, when I have an update on Haynes, I will give the update on Big Slime. I have told you for 2 months now, it's going to be a while. It's still going to be a while. Like, at least a month, maybe more. Like, best case scenario, from what I have heard, best case scenario would be late January, early February. So same thing I've been telling you. There is not light at the end of that tunnel at this point.
Hooray. Buck was still, sometimes he is not the guy who I want with the ball in his hands because he loves to just be as erratic as possible.
Look, I agree, but he'll do it. At least you know he's going to get it and just fly to the other end of the floor and try to put the ball in the basket.
Which
nobody else will.
Parts of his game remind me of Micah Adams-Wood. Micah Adams-Wood.
Yeah, Woods.
I don't even remember which one was plural. Both of them.
What do you mean, Micah Adams-Woods?
It was both of them that were plural.
Yeah.
Okay, I just feel like Kevin Johnson right now, feeling like I'm mispronouncing it. But yeah, where he would go and try and take the circus shot to try and do whatever. It feels a little bit like that at times. But
well, it's not a circus shot as much as his body is not built to handle contact. As soon as there's somebody around him, he is blur. Leroy Jenkins. Yeah, it's but he'll do it like that when they hit the 2 free throws to put it 14 seconds left, they go up 3. And Buck just took the ball on the inbound straight to the rim, lay up to cut it to 1 with 10 seconds left.
Yeah.
Like, he's the only guy I feel like that has that. I am going to the rim come hell or high water. Now, the result isn't always great, but I like the mentality, Aaron.
Yeah, I think if you give the ball to either Jizzle or Day in that same situation, they do the hezzy at some point and maybe settle for the long 2. So,
yeah.
Anyway, we'll keep it moving. Baba Miller 7 tonight. 7 and 7. It's so strange him not having a double-double. But 7 points, 2 of 7 from the field. Not great. 0 for 2 from 3. They're going to give that to him all day. 3 of 4 from the line. 2 offensive, 5 defensive, giving him 7 rebounds, 3 assists, 3 fouls, 1 turnover, 2 blocks, 1 steal, 30 minutes played, +3 for Baba.
How about this, by the way, Aaron? Wes Miller on if there will be changes to the lineup. Mm-hmm. Jizzle's done a good job of assimilating. His role demands playing time. There will be changes.
Nailed it.
Baba wasn't good, and this team's chances of winning on nights that Baba Miller is 2 of 7 from the floor, 0 of 2 from 3 for 7 points and 7 rebounds. They're not great.
And I guess great. When we talk about Mustafa Cham needing to do more, when I talk about it anyway, on nights where Baba Miller's not getting you 10 plus, not getting you 17 rebounds, that's where you have to see more aggressiveness rebounding on the glass from Mustafa Cham on both sides of the ball.
Tim, the only thing I'm on the same page on is you saying the same thing over and over and over and over again every time you post in the chat is fucking annoying. That's what I'm on the same page on. We get it, buddy. Like, everybody feels this way. Saying it in the same chat over and over and over and over again. Is it cathartic for you? I don't understand. I don't understand. We have to be here one way or the other. Galactic Fried Chicken is paying us to be here. So we will be here talking about every game when it ends. And if we were to talk about it from the perspective of the season's over, that makes for a pretty boring show. And then Galactic Fried Chicken's not getting their money's worth for what they pay us.
We're not even in conference play yet. Some miraculous turnaround. Maybe that's the catalyst for all of it.
We don't get to be as depressed as you all the time, Jim. Galactic Fried Chicken is so good. You're right, Jared.
We still watch it. All of us, clearly. We're all still here. We're doing this together, guys. We're doing this together. Jalen Celestine, 3 points, 1 of 6 from the field, 1 of 4 from 3. Not great for him tonight either. 2 offensive rebounds.
He hit a big one.
Okay, yeah. 2 fouls.
Could have been bigger, but I mean,
2 fouls, 2 turnovers, 16 minutes played, -9. Go on.
He kind of is the one that got the run at the end started, cutting it to 7. I thought his shot looked good tonight. The arc was good. He just had a couple that were close that didn't go down. You need him to make at least one more.
I think you need more than that from him, especially if he's going to be getting 15 plus minutes. You need for him to do more than 2 rebounds. You need him to do more than.
We agree on that.
Yeah,
we've talked about that many times.
This was just another example of such a game where if you're going to get over that hump, if you're going to close out games, it's going to have to be because guys like Jalen Celestine gave you more than what they give you regularly in these losses.
3 points, 2 rebounds, no assists, 2 turnovers in 16 minutes. That needs to be 6, 7 points, 5 rebounds if you're going to be playing him 15 to 20 minutes. Completely agree.
Especially if he's going to be playing minutes at that 4 spot.
You almost have to right now.
I'm saying, like, if you're going to be in the 4 spot,
out.
You can't come up with 2 rebounds if you're playing at the 4 spot.
Yeah.
Sean Abayev, 3 points, 1 of 5, all threes, 2 defensive rebounds, 2 turnovers, 1 block, 14 minutes played, -17.
He's got to be a bigger factor. You recruited him with the belief that he was going to be a heavy factor in your offense, and you've had too many times. I don't care if he's a freshman. This isn't on him, Pluto. This isn't on him. This is on the staff that recruited him to be that bucket getter from the wing on this team. They didn't recruit anybody else to be that priority bucket getter on the wing. They recruited him to do it. If he's not going to do it, this team can't reach its potential. And it's probably too late for any of that to matter. Now, it's why for the 3 years that they've been in the Big 12, what have I talked about so many times, Aaron? Unless it's AJ DeBansa and Darren Peterson, VJ Edgecombe, like top 5, top of the NBA draft guys, you can't put that on a freshman. But they did.
So he keeps talking about in his post-game pressers that he can play at all 3 levels. I feel like he's settling for 1 level. And I don't know that that's on him. I don't know that that's on the staff. I think it's probably a combination of some at some level. But you have to be – it doesn't feel like he looks to drive unless it's wide open. Unless you can fit a tractor trailer down the lane, he doesn't look to drive. And I think he's got to be – especially you see it. You see where it's going through his head. You can almost see the gears grinding where he's like, I'm going to go ISO. And then he's like, nah.
You know what he's also significantly better at when he's on the move, driving with the ball? Passing. His ability to find guys when he's putting pressure on the defense is really good, but he never puts pressure on the defense, so we never get to see that aspect of his game.
I don't feel like right now I'm seeing any of the other 2 levels. It's literally just threes or bust. Yeah. So, I mean, and if you're going to And if you're going to do the kick out, then I'm going to be wildly irritated that that's the only level you're playing out of.
Yeah. Yeah. It's got to be more than this game. He had 0. Alabama State, he had 2 twos. He attempted 2 twos and missed them both. Like, you're not seeing anything other than step back threes.
He was 3 of 11, 1 of 7 from 3. So he was 2 of 4.
Yeah. And one of them, I think, was a run-out dunk towards the end.
Sure. I don't know.
I'm just saying, not a product of, playing offense.
I was bored during that game, remember?
Pluto, let's discuss. You have a hard time believing the staff banked on a freshman coming in and being a big bucket getter. Then you have a lot. Who at the 3 is the bucket getter on this roster? The 3 is supposed to be a guy that gets you buckets.
Especially when you don't. Well, when you don't traditionally under Wes Miller, you really don't bring in a 2 ever, like an actual true 2.
Right.
So you are relying on a 3.
He started him day 1.
Mm-hmm.
They absolutely banked on him being a bucket getter. Absolute. That's not even up for debate.
Well, who else would you have said he recruited over him at that spot?
Nobody. Celestine's to be a combo guy and shoot threes, right? That's his role. Who else? Who at the 2 would you consider a bucket getter? Jizzle's back now, so him and Day-Day.
Jizzle, I feel like Jizzle's been playing more 1 than 2, and Day-Day's shifted to the 2.
Yeah. But you didn't go out and get a bucket getter when you were building this roster because you recruited Sean Abayev.
All right, we got a donation here. Thanks for the donation, Sam Dash. Can we please agree that Kerr should not be playing more than 12 minutes a game? It sounds like in the post-game presser, Coach may have alluded to that. We'll see. You got 8 days to figure it out before the next one.
The thing is, if he's not making threes, he doesn't give you a whole lot else because he's not a good defender. Yes, he's a good passer, but you can't have a non-factor in the scoring column that gives up a bunch of points on the other end on the floor heavy minutes because he's a good passer. He's not that good of a passer.
He hasn't even been doing his thing. He was doing it a couple times a game. He hasn't even been doing his thing where he tries to draw the charge anymore. He's just getting blown by.
Teams know now, don't give him this and he can't guard you. That's the only way he could guard somebody is to keep his chest in front of him, and as soon as they extend that elbow, he goes back for a charge. I don't see Abayev getting better stats in Big 12 play either, Pluto. That's why I've said all along it's a mistake to count on a freshman that's not AJ DeBanza or Darren Peterson level, DJ Edgecombe level to come in and, like, if it happens organically, it's fine. If the kid comes in and he earns it and he's balling out, then you've got a freshman. It's a little bit of a surprise. They're coming in, they're scoring 10, 11 points a game. But this goes back to, Aaron, what we talked about, like going into and out of the crosstown shootout. There's supposed to be a development curve that goes up as you're getting 10, 11, 12, 13 games into the season and going towards conference play.
Well,
Abayev is going the other way.
Minutes would correlate with that, or they should. In the last 2 games, he's combined 4 of 16 for 16 points. That's not great.
Right. The curve, the getting comfortable part is supposed to be happening now, and it's not. It's getting worse. It's going down instead of going up. Wasn't Kerr in there by default while Jizzle was on sabbatical anyway? Yeah, I mean, you didn't have a lot of options. Were you going to play Keyshawn 22 minutes? I don't think he's ready for that.
We also don't exactly know what the rotations would have been had all of them been practicing together. Maybe he earns it, maybe he doesn't. Maybe it pushes Kerr to a different level than he's currently at. Who knows? We'll see, again, how he responds to whatever is about to happen. If Coach is really – I mean, the minutes show it tonight. We'll see how Kerr responds.
Yep.
We only have a couple more here. I guess we'll go with Halvin Zella, 0 points, 0 for 1 in his only shot, 2 offensive, 3 defensive, giving him 5 rebounds, 1 assist, 1 foul, 14 minutes played, +9 to lead all Bearcat, tied with Buck at +9.
He's going to defend. He's going to rebound. He's going to hustle his butt off. He can't play offense at this level. It is what it is.
His move that he went to the hoop with was actually, it was nice. I wasn't mad about it. Couldn't finish.
You can't finish. So you're putting him out there for again, that's supposed to be where Tyler McKinley is. Hopefully you have Tyler back by Lipscomb. They said he warmed up and was with the team dressed today, but clearly just couldn't go. But you got to play him a little bit because you're not playing Chom 40 minutes. Now, the alternative is something Wes hasn't done, which is play Baba at the 5. I wouldn't hate it. It wouldn't be interesting to see what it looks like, but, whatever.
We'll see what happens. It's still better minutes than we saw with, like, Jameel Reynolds. I don't even remember who was at the backup 5 last year. Kid at Northwestern now.
Page.
Yeah.
Will I do, if they beat Houston, will I do the show with my shirt off? I will not be here for that show. So if you want me to take my shirt off while Keegan and Aaron are doing the show, I won't do that either.
I don't expect them to beat Houston, but I will also not be taking my shirt off for a team that currently stands at 7-5 and has lost to anybody with a pulse.
Yeah, I'm not doing that. Nobody wants to see that. Nobody. There's nobody that wants to see me or Aaron or Keegan with their shirts off. What's the identity of this team? It's a good question, Pluto. It was supposed to be elite defensive team that's good enough, I guess, on offense. I guess that was supposed to be who this team is. They're 10 on defense in KenPom. I don't feel like I'm watching the 10th best defense in the country, Aaron. I think they're okay at times, but I don't feel like I'm watching a dominant. Now, I will give them credit. RJ Godfrey, they forced him into a tough day. He did make plays late for Clemson. But, I mean, Clemson shot 50% or 48% from the floor and 50% from 3. That's not.
We only have one more, and it's Kirk Reese. We've talked a bunch of him plenty, but no points. 0 for 1 on his only field goal. Of course, it was a 3. 1 defensive rebound. 1 turnover. 9 minutes played. -14. Yes, that's his entire stat line.
I know everybody hates him right now. I know everybody's down on him.
I don't hate him.
I'm just like the fan base in general hates Kirk Carissa right now.
He just clearly needs to be more. And this is, you feel like you were sold a product that you didn't get. You got a lemon right now. Is how you feel. Yeah. You want him to not be a lemon. You want the engine to turn over. Let's go, man.
Yep. It's a rough look for Kerr right now. Now, if he comes out in big, like they need him to hit 2 threes a game, like 2 for 5, 2 for 6, whatever it is. You need him to stretch the defense and hit a couple threes a game. It does look like now you're going to be talking maybe more in that 15, 20-minute range probably than 25 to 30. Whatever it is, if he's not hitting those 2 threes a game, he's not doing anything really to help you.
Well, you can't have 0 assists either if you're supposed to be the passing guy.
Right.
If your a turnover to assist ratio is anything to 0, you have become a net negative.
Yeah. And he didn't make any threes.
Yuck.
So, look, this was not in any way, shape, or form a moral victory. It was once again letting an opportunity get away that you desperately needed. Desperately needed. And you came out and you were down 30-5. Congratulations on the heart and the toughness and the effort to make this thing a game at the very end. A game where you didn't get over the hump. But it's not a moral victory. You failed.
How much winning would have done for the locker room as opposed to losing?
Probably would have been a big help. But they didn't.
Correct.
So
and now you have potentially starters losing jobs, and you wonder what that's going to do to the locker room.
Yeah. Can't put a full 40 together. They have trouble putting anything more than 10 together. Tonight was 20, was 23 or whatever. Thank goodness that we finally saw that, but they still didn't get enough stops when they needed stops.
Again, if we're the 10th best defense in the country, what does that say for the rest of the country?
I mean, they are really good on defense, but I think I expected more. I think I expected them to be even better than they're doing. Generally, they're doing one or two things well, and like the third thing is getting away from them in these games. And because the offense, I do think it's a matter of, Aaron, because the offense is so inept that we're looking at the defense and thinking if they don't get every stop, this team's in trouble.
Yeah.
All right, that's gonna wrap it up.
It can get much worse, Pluto.
Pluto. Don't you put that evil on me, Pluto. Son of bitch. That's gonna do it. We'll see you tomorrow night for the BBP. He's Aaron Smith. I'm Chad Brendel. Thanks to Galactic Fried Chicken. This is The Aftermath right here on BearcatJournal.com.